Hey everybody, it's Phil. Happy Saturday. Again, we have the pioneer of indie comics, the co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and an all-around great guy who we love to have on all the time, Kevin Eastman. Thanks for coming back. How are you?
I'm great, Phil. Always a pleasure to be back here hanging out with you guys and everybody out there. So, hey.
Yeah, I say this to your credit. I'm not one that's sycophantic or anything with celebrities, but you really are still a fan. The way you treat everybody, the way you are at shows, the time you take with everyone. I think that alone is as much as being a pioneer as what you did in the indie community, because I think we've gotten away from that with some of the well-known names at shows, but to see you is always a pleasure. You're always great with everybody, and it's nice to see that you're a fan too.
100%. I'm a 100% fan, and I really I point to as I do often in these discussions, I point to Jack Kirby, and I remember one particular year at San Diego. It was you know first time I saw Kirby live and in person. He come into San Diego was the year I think they were expecting like 8,000 attendees at the show, and he'd come in and he was almost immediately surrounded. Never got past the lobby of the Civic Auditorium, and he was sitting down and he was already telling stories, and he had like 40, 50 people around him. And Just watching his interaction with every question from the fans was there were no stupid questions. It was everybody was treated with respect. Some people asked the same questions again and again. He told the same story with the same passion. I said to myself that if I'm lucky enough to have fans, I hope I treat them as well as like Jack Kirby treated his fans. So it's been something that stuck with me, and I do. I have the greatest job because I have the greatest fans. Point blank.
Now we're gonna get into Last Ronin and the sequel that's coming out this week, and but before we do, I want to ask you, how do you maintain that humility? I mean, because it's got to be hard. All these fans adoring you, coming at you. You're in the spotlight. Everybody knows who you are in this community, and even outwardly now because of cartoons and movies. How do you maintain that humility?
A lot of beatings from my parents when I was younger. I guess. No, it was sort of. I don't know. I feel very fortunate, very aware of being very fortunate that I'm lucky. We grew up in New England. It was very, like a lot of families, I assume across the U.S. It's hardworking. You work for what you earn. You're respectful. Exposed to church and sort of being appreciative to all the blessings and the things that you have. So it's just I think it's just been part of me. And so I don't know how to be any other way, I guess, is what I'm saying. But
Well,
thank you.
I appreciate it, and you've always been kind to me. So, Last Ronin, obviously, it was a departure from Teenage Mutant Turtles. It brought in new audience. It was this new, fresh idea, which wasn't a new, fresh idea. I mean, you had it years ago, but you kind of reinvented it and brought it out.
Yep.
Um, uh, and now you had the prequel. Now you have the sequel, the direct sequel. So, I know we're short for time, so just tell us about the sequel that's coming out, what we're to expect, and what we're to look forward to.
No, it was just to have the opportunity to do a sequel was something we really hadn't thought of. It was Tom and I worked together through the 100 issues plus then Last Ronin, what that became, and we sort of had an idea early on, you know, um, in Last Ronin that would leave this door open to once we close the door on the what we wanted to say on Last Ronin for what came before, leave the door open if there was an opportunity to maybe do more in the Rodin universe, which we fell in love with. And so when the series became the success that it was, it took a lot of time and a lot of thought to come up with a story that we liked, that we thought worked as an evolution. It wasn't, wash, rinse, and repeat kind of thing. It was something
Right.
that had to be a true evolution, which is part of the title of the series called Re-Evolution, which not only attributes to how the four new turtles became who they are, but also what they're going to do in this story. Um, so it's I'm very happy with it. It's funny. It's um, a lot of work in the best possible way. It's like Tom and I are and the whole team is very hard on ourselves. We want this to be everything that we bring our A game, so to speak, which we always do. But we want it to be something special, something important, and something that is not just put out there to capitalize on something that's successful before, but it actually is a true and important story that we wanted to tell. So that's the focus. I'm not giving any spoilers, but it's when it lands next week, you'll sort of next Wednesday, people will see where it's going, and then there's lots of twists and turns and surprises throughout the series. So it's something that I'm really proud of, and happy to be chest deep on.
Real quick, because with time restraints, we just want to address a few people. Matthew Cole said, "Hello, Kevin. You're a big inspiration to his comic, The Glopple."
Awesome.
And Kevin's so humble. Can't wait to meet him one day. Cyrus loves you. And Matthew loves The Last Ronin. And Flip Charles, who is from Hot Flips, he asked if there'll be a Last Ronin movie.
Great question. It's something that we wondered early on that as the series grew in popularity, Nickelodeon, who's been a great partner in all these things, there were conversations, but also the Mutant Mayhem and the animated project that Seth Rogen and
right.
Mike Ray, what Paramount has done with that, which is fantastic. I adore that movie. So the evolution with Paramount was to evolve it into a video game, which is well in the works. They've been working on it for about a year plus right now, and that's still scheduled for 2025. I understand, but to me, it was having a video game, because you have the mini movies within the video game. The context,
right.
You're going to be able to explore the whole universe of Last Ronin in this video game with all the characters that you come to know and characters we've added to it, and the sequels and stuff. So I think the video game is was the most logical way to go to expand in entertainment the Last Ronin universe. But you never know. There's still the opportunity to do a Batman cartoon and a intense Batman
right.
movie exists out there. So let's see where it goes. But,
real quick, Matthew said if you ever get the time, please Google the Glopple, which is his book, just to check it out.
I will. How's your comic going, Phil? By the way.
Good. I mean, everything's good. I'm plugging away, doing what we can. But thank you for asking.
No, I enjoyed it. Thanks for giving me a copy, and it's great to see.
Did you read it?
We'll work on a cover at some point once they get me. If I take on any outside work right now, I think IDW has ninja spies around my video. They'll swing down and.
That's why I haven't bothered you or Courtney. I know you got a lot going on, and I just appreciate that you would even entertain it.
My pleasure.
Guido said he loves you're amazing. Created characters that are of all characters for all ages, multiple generations. Hats off to you, sir. I wanted to ask you. So you had this concept for Last Ronin. Obviously, the Ninja Turtles had crossed over with the cartoons to a younger generation at one point, right? Which was great because it expanded your audience. But at the same time, was there any concern going into such a dark, edgier story where you're killing off a lot of characters, and a lot of people have their different favorite turtle who are not going to be around anymore? So was there concern with that, and was there surprise with what a wonderful response you got?
Yes, on both counts. That was very challenging. There were a number of conversations with Nickelodeon, certainly, but we're very lucky in the idea of multiverses and those kind of things are more common and understood these days, which and as Phil, they've been around forever. We've always had, how many five versions of Peter Parker Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, so we love that you can have past, present, future stories and different iterations of the characters that work on different levels. So it wasn't a super tough nut to crack, convincing Nickelodeon that we're going to kill all the main turtles,
right?
Because they also had the ongoing series, and then they would launch in the Saturday morning thing. But it was one that we, even based on the original idea that Pete and I had in '87, and how Tom and I adapted it, was ending the original Turtles, including what happened to Michelangelo at the end, was with incredible emotional concern and approach, and they had to be perfect, and it had to be perfect to us, and hopefully that would translate. So that was a tough one. I'll admit you, there was a lot of late nights sort of staying up 2 to 3 in the morning going over different.
You do want another Spider-Man Clone War saga, Clone Saga, where it returns the fans,
Yeah.
But I do think though one of its successes is because you're writing the story for the sake of the story. It's your love for the characters that comes through with the story. It's not that you're looking to just shock the world
Yes.
and destroy them. It was an evolution that felt natural because you love these characters you created. So I think that comes through to fans and they appreciate that.
And it's great to have that room to maneuver with the fans, because you guys have been great in supporting for all the stuff. So, but yeah, we're excited to see what everybody thinks next Wednesday when it comes out. We're thrilled to be on the our official second convention is in the 40th anniversary tour is Kansas City, and as always, you can go to Kevin Eastman Studios to find out KevinEastmanStudios.com, the fan website, to find out where I am, what I'm doing, what's going on, and look forward to seeing you guys live and in person out there, as well as you, Phil.
I know you got to get going. Two quick things. The first is you had a ton of like the most variant covers I think of any book ever on the first Last Ronin series. Do you see that happen? Is that happening again?
I don't do that kind of. I'm not.
I know it's through store retailers and stuff, but like, are you seeing?
No, it's like I know that. I mean, IDW, Nickelodeon pretty much handle and point all that stuff. So I don't know exactly. I'm
Okay.
surprised sometimes, but I know that there was talk about they were going to limit the number of
Yeah,
those
because
kinds
there
of
was so
questions.
many.
That's too. Yeah, that's too many, especially for people that are completists and want to try to get everyone. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I'm not sure. So
And the last question is, Last Ronin are there any plans to make this an ongoing with the new Turtles, or is it going to be, are you going to just continue to do these self-contained stories like, in chapters and release them as miniseries?
right now, the idea is we wanted to do part two, the re-evolution, as a 5-part, same as the first one, 40 pages each, 200 pages total. And then we have solid ideas for part three, a similar approach to it. So we'll see after that. That maybe we might have had enough to say within those three, but if there's interest to do more, then we'll definitely um, keep that door open, so to speak.
Cool. I know you got to go. Just Matthew said, hope to meet you. Would love to get you a copy of Glopple. You would love it. Thank you for creating my favorite characters.
Thank you, Matthew.
So thanks for coming out. I always appreciate it. I know you're very busy. You come out for as much as you can. You always go a little above with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you to Courtney and Jasmine. And I hope you have a great show next week. I hope it's a fantastic launch on Wednesday, and always wishing you success. You're really one of the good ones in the industry.
Appreciate you very much, Phil. Great to be on with you as always, and look forward to the next time.
Take care. Have a good one.
Cowabunga. Thanks, Phil. I got to jump right to another one.
Yeah.
So
Take care.
Take care, my friend.
So that's Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Unfortunately, we do like 10-minute interviews because he does have like a press release that he does. I have talked to him about doing a longer interview, and that will happen at some point. I'm just giving him time to breathe. As you heard, I wasn't going to say anything, but he is definitely looking to do a tragedy cover. It's just he has to clear his plate a little. As you can see, he's very busy. But I seriously, I want to say this. I'm not one that is a celebrity worshiper or, that kind of thing. But Kevin is truly one of the good people. If you haven't met him, go. He's so approachable. Go meet him at a show, talk with him. He's one of us as a fan. And he appreciates the life he's living, and he appreciates all the fans that come out and support him. So, yeah, go get the Last Ronin sequel this week, Re-Evolution. It comes out Wednesday. If you didn't know about it, ask your LCS to order it, or just go find it. Support. It's a good story, obviously. It's a great story. It's characters we love. And like I said in the interview, he writes for the reason of loving the characters and the story. So that's what we want in comics, right? That's what we need in comics. And just remember, he did this with Peter Laird when there was no internet, there was no digital comics, there was no Kickstarter. So if he can do it, we can do it. We just got to keep plugging away and keep going. Before I go, I want to remind you, speaking of do it, please, right now, live on Kickstarter is Night Issue 5. Philbo Publishing is presenting it, but it is written and created by Guido Martinez. It is an urban fantasy tale. It's mixing kind of Dungeons and Dragons and superheroes in a city backdrop. There's an evil wizard. There is a bad woman that can raise the dead. There's giant monsters that breathe fire. It's an action packed, well illustrated, well written, entertaining story. It's fantastic. Trust me, otherwise it wouldn't have the Philbo name on it. So please go back Night issue 5 on Kickstarter now. I've been posting about it. Guido's been posting about it. You can find it everywhere. Okay. I appreciate you guys for coming out. I appreciate you guys coming in and chat. I'm sorry we couldn't do more to talk with you guys. It was a limited time. This is probably about my 8th interview with Kevin, and we'll have more in the future. So come on out and you can ask your questions. But if you're in Kansas City next weekend, go see him. Go tell him hi. Go support. All right, I'm going to leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.